I'm Jordan, and I did my current issues presentation on COVID-19 and the effect on essential household supplies. So, an overview of my presentation is how the coronavirus or COVID-19 is impacting the stock of essential items in stores and online. How is limited stock affecting individuals and their families? What have stores and businesses done during these times where there's a shortage of essential living items? The impact on stocks. So there's been a high demand for all of the following items: toilet paper, diapers, hand sanitizer, soap, over-the-counter medications, household cleaning supplies, non-perishable foods. There are many others, but those were some of the few that I felt were most important to include on this slide. I personally have not been out in public since quarantine started, so the last time I was in a store was a few weeks prior to official quarantine starting, and I distinctly recall the shelves being extremely bare, pretty much comparable to the pictures that I included here. And people were walking around Target with multiple carts filling with cleaning supplies, whatever toilet paper or paper towels they could find, pretty much anything that they thought they would need. And I know now that even trying to complete a grocery order online is pretty difficult because there's such a high demand that things are pretty much impossible to get. So I don't know exactly what the shelves look like these days, but I know that it's still difficult to get items. So the impact on individuals and their families: running out of essentials, purchasing items in bulk, and sanitization. So it can be pretty scary to run out of things that you need every day, especially if you're immunocompromised or elderly and it's hard for you to get out or go to the store. Single parents, you're not supposed to bring your children in with you. So what are you supposed to do with your child when you need to run to the store for things? Purchasing items in bulk works for some people, but others are not able to do that. Doesn't fit into their budget, and it can become difficult for them to leave the store with the necessary items that they need. People hoarding items has resulted in a lot of people leaving with nothing since they can't afford to get a pack of 48 instead of a pack of 12. So, as far as sanitization goes, how is everyone supposed to stay healthy, live in a clean environment, sanitize their hands, wash their hands, clean surfaces, especially those that are still required to go to work or considered essential employees? How are they supposed to stay safe and healthy if they don't have access to proper cleaning and sanitization equipment since it's all sold out at stores? Actions that stores and businesses have taken: they've allotted specific times for immunocompromised and the elderly to shop when others are not in the building. On the side here, I've included some pictures of times that they're able to go or what some precautions that they've taken are. They've limited the number of items you can purchase, so instead of purchasing 15 bottles of hand sanitizer, maybe you can only get 2. Businesses have halted the production of other goods in order to produce hand sanitizer and other cleaning supplies. For example, I'm not exactly sure the name of the company in Duluth, but they halted their production or their distillery closed down, and they started producing hand sanitizer and alcohol that you can use to clean surfaces in order to aid with that high demand for cleaning supplies. Connecting this all to dignity: each person has the right to the supplies that they need in order to live their daily lives and remain healthy. And by hoarding all the essential living supplies, you're not recognizing that taking more than what you need is keeping others from having the amount that they need or can afford. So it's important that we respect others, their needs, and take into consideration what their situation might be. This is a great time if you're able to reach out and help others, put together a little care package and bring it over to your elderly neighbor or whatever it may be. Show them that you really do respect them and care. So here's a short little video.
Seen grocery stores scrambling to keep up with demand as panic buying empties many shelves across the country. You've probably seen it yourself as you were shopping over the weekend. Long lines out the door, as well as store shelves basically emptied out as people try to stock up in anticipation of a quarantine, and certainly fear at a record high this weekend. Joining me on the phone now, Jesse Edgerton, who is a senior economist at JP Morgan. Jesse, give me a sense of how some of these grocery stores are dealing with this sudden demand. We heard the vice president yesterday say, don't panic, there's enough food supply there, but no question, a lot of these companies are overstretched right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on the grocery supply chain, but my impression is that our food supply is pretty robust, and we will be able to keep shipping food from warehouses where it's been sitting to grocery stores. Certainly in my own neighborhood here in New York City, there is plenty of food on the shelves, maybe a little shortage of toilet paper, but I do suspect that, maybe with a few kind of dry days here, we will be able to keep the grocery supply going.
What we've also seen, at least here in New York City and other major cities as well, is a closure of bars.
So just a quick recap of the video, you can see how many people are going into stores, especially in bigger cities, what shelves look like, and people trying to buy things, taking precautions. This was a little bit earlier in the quarantine when I started this project, and it was probably one of the better videos that I could find that demonstrated the shortage on supplies. I know this is focused more on food, but the perishable food items was one thing that I mentioned being a pretty big thing here. So,
Seeing groceries.
Sorry about that. As far as questions go, have you or your family members been found guilty of panic buying, or did you only purchase the amount of goods that were necessary? What are your thoughts on panic buying? Do you think that people should be able to buy in abundance, or do you agree with the amount being limited? What more do you think stores and businesses could do to solve this issue? Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed my presentation.